Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to go ahead and summarize the information that's coming up in this video. You'll see why when it gets started. It's kind of hard to follow. So we'll start off. I want to tell you the fuel discount at Advanced using our NASTC card averaged out to be about 30.5 cents per gallon. I used 681 less gallons while I've been in Advanced. I've saved $1,728 in fuel costs. I've drove 3,558 less miles since I've been in Advanced. Now all this is in a 5-week period. I'll explain some of that in the video. I hope y'all enjoy it. I enjoyed making it, and I look forward to making more for y'all. Be good out there, y'all. Later. Howdy, y'all. This here is the Christian Trucker, and today I'm not doing the whiteboard because it was just a little bit easier for me to get this information on the green sheet. So here we go. We're going to talk about this here green sheet. Now what we have here, I want to talk about fuel. Let's talk about the fuel discount per se. Now when I was at Snyder, I could just about guarantee I was going to get $100 a week off of my fuel from the discount. I don't know if y'all realize, but every time I do one of my videos about my numbers, the fuel that I post on there is before the discount. Ever since I started them way back with Snyder, it was before the discount. Now I've talked some about the fuel discount, but not much. But we're going to talk about it today because I have two companies to compare it to. We have Advanced on the left and Snyder on the right. I used the last 5 full weeks with Snyder. Now, logic would dictate that right before I left Snyder, I should be as good as I was going to get on that program. I've been there for 2 years. So logic would dictate this is the best that I was going to do on that program for the 5 weeks before I left. Now, the last week wasn't as good, so it wasn't even a full week. So these are the last 5 full weeks, which are pretty good, consistent numbers, right? This is my very first 5 weeks over at Advanced. I'm still new to the thing. I'm still learning, and I'm making adjustments, trying to improve my numbers and improve myself. And there's a vast difference already. Now what we're going to talk about, like I say, is our fuel. We're going to start off with our miles, total miles. These are our total miles, hub miles right there, okay? Same on this side. We're going to do our deadhead. There's the number and there's the percentage. There's the number and there's the percentage. We're going to do the fuel. That's the total gallons for the week. And here's the total gallons for the week. You see? Then we're going to do our fuel cost. That's the total cost for the fuel before the discount for the week. Now, the discount part on this is true information on Advanced. This is to the penny what I got off of my fuel each week. Okay? Over here, I just figured 25 cents because for the longest it was 22 and 23. It bounced around a little bit right there. So I'm going to give them 25. So I just figured 25 cents on all of the weeks there for Snyder. Now, guys that work for Snyder, if it's more or less, you know, it is what it is. I'm trying to give you the best information that I have at hand. Okay, so week 1, we had 1,870 miles. We made 1362.64. Comparatively to Snyder, we drove 2,662 miles and we made $1,742.42. That was a pretty good week for Snyder. I tell you, if Snyder would have stayed like that every week, I might would have stayed there. But it didn't, as you'll see in the next week. Now, the next week I took 4 days off So we had 1,496 total miles and $885. And then over at Snyder, we had 2,487 miles, which gave us $1,011.78. You know, the deadhead comparatively is shrinking each week. See right here, you got 6% compared to 11.5. You got 17.5 compared to 23. Now, I'm showing you all of these. I'm just going over them roughly. Now, week 3, 2,500 miles at Advanced, $1,975.50. Week 3 over at Snyder, 3,275 miles, $1,500. And I had 23% deadhead over, 23.9% deadhead there, 18% over at Snyder. At Advanced. Week 4, 2,216 miles, $1,366. Week 4 at Snyder, we had 2,716 miles, $1,371. So right there you see I even had less deadhead that week. 15.7 at Snyder and 30% over at Advanced. I still made the same money, but I drove 500 miles less that week. Okay, now on week 5, 2,182 miles, $1,718. 2,758 miles at Snyder, $1,394. The deadhead on that week at Advanced really shrunk down to 8%. See, the deadhead shrinks at Advanced because I have more freight to choose from, going where I want to go and how I need to go to get home and to do all my stuff. So your deadhead goes down. This week here, I had to make a run and go take care of some things in the truck, so it went up. No biggie. All right, now fuel discount at Advanced. Week 1 was $73.18. Week 2, $58.72. Week 3, $102.03. Week 4 was $80.10. Week 5 was $105.89. All right, now you see all those numbers. They kind of look like gobbledygook. So let's do the breakdown. Break it down. Here we go. Total miles for the 5 weeks at Advanced was 10,340. At Snyder it was 13,898. Look, y'all, that is 3,558 more miles. That is a whole nother hard week's running to make you money that I was able to cut off because I had more freight to choose from. Deadhead, I had 1,689 miles of deadhead, which is 16.3%. We had 2,467 miles of deadhead over at Snyder, 17.75%. So we're looking at 1.5 or so percent that I dropped the deadhead, which I figured it was going to be more than that. But like I said, I had a couple weeks that I had to do some things on. So we drove 3,558 less miles, which is 711 less per week. That's a solid run per week that we cut our miles down. Alright, now, next interesting thing, getting back to the fuel. Over here, since I drove so much less, we had to get 1,372 gallons compared to 2,053 gallons. The fuel cost was $4,333 compared to $6,061. That is the pump price. That's before the discounts. Alright, so that is 681 more gallons that we used at Snyder. So that's $1,728 in 5 weeks that we saved by shortening our miles and increasing our funds. $1,728, y'all. That's an enormous fuel discount. Let's talk about that fuel discount right there. Now that is $1,728 for 5 weeks. That is awesome. That is like $305 or something like that a week. $300 something a week that we saving on fuel. Not to mention the percentage that I'm getting is higher than the percentage I was getting at Snyder, so we're making more money there also. Now, advance discount for the 5 weeks, I got $419 in the fuel discount, so that come up to 30.5 cents per gallon. That ain't too bad. So like I said, over here I figured 25 cents per gallon, so it was $419 over at Advance and it's $513 over at Snyder. So okay, they might have beat us $100 there, but you got to remember, you had to buy $1,728 more worth of fuel to make it work at Snyder. I did. This is how I ran the program. Now, people might run the program better than me. This is what I had to work with working out of the Southeast. Now, down here, what you see is the net that I brought home for the 5 weeks. $7,308.60 at Advance. That's 5 weeks. $7,036.30 at Snyder. That's pretty dang close, and I ran a whole week's worth less. I ran less, and it was just a lot better week. Now down here you got your miles per gallon, and I got better fuel mileage over here at Advance than I did over at Snyder, because the loads that I was having to pick at Snyder were probably going to be heavy to make it with the least deadhead and to get me where I needed to be. So once I get my deadhead under control altogether, and see, we use the Nastic card, and they have an app. When you look at that app, it's kind of like the Pilot apps and all the other apps. It shows you where the fuel is. It shows you all the little locations, and you jump on those locations and you can see who has it the cheapest. I've been getting it at the Petro and TA. That's just where I've been fueling, because a lot of times I don't like to fuel at the mom and pops, and besides, the TAs and the Petros usually have the price right on line with everybody else. So that's my spiel about numbers and such for this week. I hope y'all have a great weekend. God bless. Catch you on the next ride.